Hey there, welcome to the Whiskey Wealth Warrior podcast. I'm your host, Glen Palmer, and this show is for those who respect the craft of fine spirits and think long term about wealth. Now, before I dive in, quick word from our sponsor. This episode was brought to you by Whiskey Wealth Mastery, where serious investors learn to build wealth through whiskey the right way, with data-driven insights in a quietly powerful asset class that has historically grown between 8 and 12%. So if you've ever wondered whether whiskey could be something that you drink, not only that you drink, but actually something that you could own, grow, and monetize strategically, that's exactly what we do. Find me on LinkedIn at Glen Palmer Online or check out the show notes below. Because if you're going to play the long game, you might as well play it like a warrior. So on today's show, I am joined by Benyea D Hurst. He is the CEO and founder of Benny Red Vodka, a man who's gone from working behind the bar at Applebee's, learning firsthand what people actually enjoy drinking, to building his own premium vodka brand from the ground up. So with over 2 decades of customer-facing roles, Benyea hasn't just studied the spirits industries, he's lived it. One conversation and one pour at a time. So if there is going to be anyone who truly understands what makes a drink connect with people, it's this man right here. So Benyea, welcome to the show. Appreciate you taking time to come on. So if you don't mind, let's get stuck in, shall we?
Yeah.
So Benyea, if time travel became a reality, yeah, and you had a chance to go back in time to when you first started your career way back, what would the advice that the person you are now actually tell your younger self?
Well, what I tell my younger self is everyone will not believe in your dream, first off. And then the second thing I would tell them, choose your team wisely. Choose the correct people that even knows more than what you know about the industry, but make sure you test them in certain times to know that they know more than what you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. There was I can't remember who said it, but if you want to learn something fast, learn from someone who's been there, done that, and sort of bought the t-shirt, and make sure that they are ahead of the game of you, because that's the only way that you're ever going to learn is by learning from somebody who's been there and done that. So
Yeah.
yeah, I understand that, Benyei. So you 13 years ago, you took a massive step to launch HB Benny Red brand. Now,
Mhm.
can you tell me what was the moment when you went from serving drinks at Applebee's to deciding, you know what, I want to be the guy that owns my own bottle with the Benny Red brand?
Well, actually, it actually stemmed from football. I played a lot of American football, like a lot.
Right,
And
okay.
yeah, I was at that age where it hit me that like, wow, I'm not in the NFL right now. So I pretty much I was kind of depressed about what else am I great at. But then I prayed on it because I'm a very spiritual person. So I prayed on it, and literally when I prayed on it that night, the next day I went into work at Applebee's, and it was an epiphany. I was like, I wonder how much this industry makes just in its whole entirety.
Yeah, yeah.
And then when I found out that just the whole liquor spirit industry in a whole is 43% of the world's economy at that time, it that blew my mind right there. I was like, wow. So then, I dove a little deeper. I said, okay, well, I like vodka a lot. So let me see how much is that percentage. Then I found out that vodka is 34 of that 43%.
Wow.
I was like, wow. So then I got even more deeper. So I said, well, I like flavor vodkas too. Then I found out that that was 21% of the 34% of the industry. So it's just that's how it just got me. So I just like, yeah, I'm locked in. And then it also was a time I was kind of paying attention to the American dollar. So I also was thinking about what type of product that I could create that can go global and I can have all different types of currencies and I'll be financially okay.
Yeah.
So that's another way I was thinking too.
Well, that's a sound philosophy and investment, mate. I love that story. Just sitting
Yeah,
at Applebee's one day and then just bing, it comes into your head and you
yeah,
say, "Hold on a second." Yeah, I love origin stories, and yeah, can talk about the NFL a little bit later, but that's for another time. Um,
okay.
so going back to the beginning of Benny Red, right at the beginning, what were your biggest challenges that you had to face? And sort of how did you overcome them to build it to the brand that it is today? And are there any challenges that you still face now, even after all this time, now that you're established?
Well, the challenges that I had the most with was getting distribution. It was like no one wanted to give me distribution, and I just couldn't understand why. Like the brand had the beautiful aesthetics, the taste matched the aesthetics. So I just really didn't understand. But then as time went on, I started learning if you don't have the capital that they're really looking for it to move, then then they won't pick you up.
Mm,
Or you may be too far ahead of your time. And at the time that I created Benny Red in the niche that I chose, I was way too far ahead of my time. So they just couldn't see it growing to what I knew it was going to grow into.
wow. And just for the listeners out there, if you want to go check out Benny Red's bottle and branding, it's fucking phenomenal. Lovely little red rose. Yeah, and it's named after your dad, isn't it?
Yeah, so my dad's name is Benny and my grandfather's name is Benny. So everyone's they call me Benny as well to make it short for Benyea, yeah. So I just wanted to keep something kind of going with the legacy of like it's time for me to transcend. That name does stay alive with like my younger nephews and younger cousins, things like that. I have a humongous family. So
Yeah.
no, yeah, no one in my family has really tapped into this industry unless they are a bartender or they're a sales rep and whatnot. But I'm coming on the end where ownership really matters.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, vodka, very much the same as the whiskey space. It's extremely crowded at the moment. So, what makes Benny Red stand out in terms of taste, branding, and customer experience?
Well, what we emphasize on, especially me, I emphasize on experiences. I have to create an experience for you to have because you may not remember the bottle, you may not remember the name, you may not even remember the taste. But what you will remember is what experience that I gave you or that the brand gave you, and that's what creates, more consumers and consumers to hold on to your brand for longevity. And what
Yeah,
what separates us is we are a dual flavor premium vodka. So the time that I created it, and when we created it at the time, it was nobody really out there pushing a premium double flavor. So I say about 2017, 2018, I knew I had something because I saw Kettle One come out with botanical double flavors. So I said, okay, more than something. Then right after Kettle One, then I see Grey Goose comes out with double flavors. Then after Grey Goose, then I see Belvedere. So I said, okay, a
now
niche
you
has been
know.
really, yeah, a niche has been created. And I feel like it started with us. We just didn't have the capital at the time and the wherewithal to push it like they can. But I truly, truly feel like we sparked up something.
Yeah,
And when it comes to the taste, what we made sure that we emphasized on is even though that they are two flavors in one product, they both have their own individual personality. When you taste the peach, so the first one is the peach pear. So you initially taste the peach. Then as it goes down, the pear is what gives it the clean finish. Subconsciously, because it's a vodka, you're trying to prepare your subconscious for a harshness, but that's where the pear kicks in and it eliminates some of that harshness and allows a real clean finish. We emphasize on clean finish. Nobody can really take anything in if the finish is not clean. If it's too
Yeah.
harsh, they're not gonna want to drink it again. Yeah, it may
Yeah.
taste good initial, but if it's not finishing well, it'll sit on the shelf.
Yeah. I mean, you've really, really thought deep about this and you've done obviously a lot of testing. And
Yes.
the whole thing around the experiences, though, is you said right at the beginning, you might not remember the bottle, you might not remember the taste, you might not remember, what the vodka looked like, but, with the experience, I think if you have a really, really good experience, all of that comes to the forefront. They do
Yep.
remember they do remember the taste because of that experience that you've given them. So, you've had the very unique opportunity to come through the hospitality sector, which has always been very, very customer centric focused sort of thing. So,
Yeah.
how has that industry knowledge shaped how you build the Benny Red brand and connect with your customers today?
Well, creating those experiences. When you are building something with your clientele and your client always looking for you, that's how you really can build what you're building, you know. So everything that you're building is built off of something that's great. So when
Hmm.
you build it off something that's great, like your personality, like the experiences, they make sure that they come back to see you. So to piggyback off of that, when you create a product, you create experiences.
Yeah.
Again, like I said from the first question, they may not remember your product. They may not remember what it tastes like, look like, smell like, but they will remember you. If you create that experience, if you create that energy, you create that vibe, they're gonna always come looking for what you are willing to put on the table.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. And Benyea, a lot of your audience, a lot of my audience, sorry, are sort of whiskey investors that are looking to launch their own private labels. So,
Mhm.
from your perspective as a premium brand builder, firstly, what makes a premium spirits brand attractive to carry? And secondly, where do you see the spirits industry heading in the next 5 to 10 years? Especially in that premiumization and the craft brands such as, Benny Red.
Yeah. Well, I see like within the next 5 to 10 years, right now it has decreased a little bit because of the times and what's going on and whatnot. And what's been emphasized on is the canned cocktails, like the RTDs.
Hmm.
So, what as the RTDs are growing, the vodka will creep back up as well. Because that's one thing that stands firm, just like real estate. Vodka stands tall.
Yeah.
Certain people that drink whiskeys, there's a certain caliber of a whiskey taster that only tries certain things. So the main thing is just understanding the market that you want to get in
Yeah.
and understanding who you're targeting and where to target them at and how to target. So once you understand it, it's still you still can win. You know, you may not be winning right out of the gate. It's all I was always told this. It's all about consistency and persistence. If you're
Hmm.
consistent at it and persistent at it, eventually it'll pop the time that it needs to pop.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, definitely. There's loads and loads of people that I speak to and that are building brands, and the number one thing that comes up time and time again is consistency. Be consistent, be persistent, keep on moving forward because the break will happen. It's just a matter of when. So
Yep.
shifting focus just a little, a lot of spirit founders I speak to are starting to look at sort of whiskey not just as a product but as an asset class. Now, obviously, something that you don't just drink but you own as an actual investment. So, have you ever looked at sort of whiskey cask from an investment brand or an extension perspective? And do you think that there'll ever be a market for vodka investing?
I have looked into whiskey myself, but you have to be, like I said, you have to be a certain caliber person to understand that whiskey market. Otherwise, they'll blow you out of the water. So
Yeah.
yeah, so when you get in, you gotta be together about it. And when it comes to the investment side, I do see more investments coming in. It's just people more VCs or angel investors or private investors, they just have to understand the market. They have to
Mhm.
understand the products. They have to understand what's actually going on besides just putting their money in and expecting a return like back as soon as possible, which we all want to, but it's very what I want to say distinctive about the spirit industry. It's
Yeah.
about longevity. So if you in it, you come in it, it's got to be a longevity thing. It can't be like a fast paced, fast turnover.
Oh, yes. Well, yeah, I could not agree more, Benyea. I could not agree more.
Yes,
So, Benyea, thank you very, very much for coming on the show. Talking about Benny Red, how you grew your brand. Kudos to you for staying in the game for so long. And, clearly you're still as passionate about growing that brand.
yeah.
Also, thanks to my listeners and viewers on YouTube as well. Benyea, just before we sign off, I'm sure some of my listeners or viewers will gonna want to get in touch with you to find out more about what you're doing at Benny Red Vodka, where they can get it from. How can they do that?
Well, you can reach me on my Instagram at Benny Red Official. You can also go to our website, um, BennyRedVodka.com. You can send us an email. You can subscribe as an email list, and then we'll get back with anybody who sends an email and answer any questions that they may have about the brand and the growth and where we're located.
Love it. Love it. Well, that almost wraps up today's episode. I want to thank my guest for joining me on the show, sharing his unusual passion with me. But before we go, very quick reminder this episode was brought to you by Whiskey Wealth Mastery, where serious investors learn how to build wealth through premium whiskey casks the right way. If you've ever wondered whether whiskey could be something that you own, grow, and monetize, not just drink, you can download a free information guide at whiskeywealthmastery.com/free. You've been listening to the Whiskey Wealth Warrior podcast. I'm your host, Glen Palmer, and I was joined today by Benyea Hurst. Thanks again for listening and watching, and I will see you on the next episode.